Barakatei Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. Barakatei Hawa. The name of this one is The Last Temptation. Now, I had another title that I was going to go into earlier, but unfortunately, the spot where I usually go to film, somebody was there because I was on my way there earlier when I did the GMS on the move, and when I got there was somebody sitting down, so I waited around, try to do a little reading, hoping that the person would leave from that area. So then I left, had a few other things to do, and went and grabbed something to eat. And then when I went back there, the person was still there, but they were laying in the grass next to the bench. So I said, you know what, forget about it. So I just left. So, pretty much it's just been a hindrance. And then when I got home, I turned the computer on and go to to Google to start setting everything up. And nothing's popping up. So, I had to go through all of that and do some scanning and some different things I had to do. And then eventually Spirit told me just restart everything and then go from there. So then when I restarted everything came back how it was. You're gonna have those things. You're gonna have that the hindrances, trying to stop the work from going forward. And like I said, I had another lesson to do, but for some reason that lesson wasn't really coming through like I kind of envisioned it. So I just left it alone and went with the other title that came to me earlier, which is called The Last Temptation. And pretty much this is where we're coming to. We're coming to the last temptation because you have to understand that these devils, although you have billions of people out there that don't believe, you have so-called atheists, you have people that are Christians or in different religions that don't accept what we teach, this is still coming. But the ones that do know that these things are real are the so-called elite of this society. Your international banking families like your Rothschilds, your DuPonts, your Gettys, your Vanderbilts, your Van Duyn, your Merovingians, and of that ilk. So they know what's coming. They know what the deal is, and this is why the scriptures say that they're going to say, hide us from the wrath of the Most High and from the wrath of the Lamb. And this is why they're building these so-called shelters, whether it's in mountain retreats or space stations or underground or underwater, or wherever the shelters may be, because they know something big is coming, and they know they're not going to be able to stop it. And in doing that, they're still on a mission to set up their agenda, and in setting up their agenda, they have certain things that are playing out, certain think tanks that they have where they sit down, like the scriptures say that the heart is deep. They sit down and they discuss certain things that they want to accomplish to bring about this agenda that they have coming. So there's going to be a push, to get people in such a desperate state that the people will be willing to accept whatever they have to offer. And this is what they're pushing. This is why they're pushing people into a corner. Now, I looked at the word temptation, and the word temptation has several meanings or several definitions. It said the desire to do something, especially something wrong or unwise. And this is the main one we're dealing with, because this is exactly what it is. Yahushua had his temptation, and although he had a hard time getting through it, he still made it through all the way through. And the reason why that's written is for us today, as a hope to look. You may get nervous because you're in the flesh. This might happen or that might happen, or you might get a little shook or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, when it's all said and done, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to put his spirit upon the elect to do the right thing. And this is going to be this is what's going to separate the ones that are from the ones that are not. Is the Lord is going to put the spirit on the ones that are part of the elect of the nation of Israel to resist whatever comes their way. And this is the only way to do that, because man's goings are of the Lord. You know, it's not in man to direct his own steps. So the reason why the elect are going to get the victory is because it's already predestined. There's already an ingredient inside of them that is not going to bend to this devil's will no matter what. The 7,000 men that are not going to bow the knee to the image of Baal, you know, and also, you know, they're already fixed, trusting in the Lord, because the scriptures say that the Lord put his mark upon the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And when you look up that word mark in the Old Testament, in the book of Ezekiel 9 and 4, the word there is thawah. And the word thawah means an exemption from judgment. You know, and that exemption from judgment is going to cause the elect not to succumb or not to give in to the agenda of this so-called New World Order. All right, it says a thing or course of action that attracts or tempts someone, the tempting of Yahushua by the devil. And this was the actual spiritual demon Satan that came to Yahushua and tempted him. You know, and what did he say? He said, everything that you see is mine, because it was given to me. That's what he said. And to whom I will, I give it. And the only way he would give it is by somebody bowing down to him and accepting him as their Lord and Master. Now, when you see these individuals that are high up, you know, whether it be a Denzel, people like Denzel's a good actor. Nah, no way Denzel will bow down or sell out or do any of that. Look, if a person is out there and they are rich, you know, according to this world, if they are in the limelight, if they're making box office movies, if they're class A actors, so on and so forth, if they're celebrities, athletes, or whatever the case may be, that are out there on the forefront, rappers, singers, entertainers, whatever, they sold out. Whether they sold out a little or they sold out a lot. Because in order to make it in this society, that is a requirement, to bow down to this devil. So what I did was I just typed in, because I was looking for this particular scripture, I typed in the last times. So I'm going to read a couple of these scriptures here on the last times, but the main one I want to get is the one in 1 John, the 2nd chapter. But let's go to 2nd Ezra 8 and 63. It says, Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders, which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me. So pretty much the Lord showed the prophets things that were going to come. He showed them the last times. He showed men like King Solomon and Moses and other prophets the end. Showed them the beginning of times, the middle of times, and the end of times. So where we're at right now is at the end of times. There's no coincidence that the 13, 14, 1500s, 1200s, 1100s were called the medieval times. Then you went into the Renaissance, which was the rebirth. Now we're where? We're at the end times. You know, there's a term called eschatology, you know, which means the study of the end, you know. And this is where we're at, because this is the time when all these things would happen and all of these prophecies would be fulfilled. And our Lord Yahushua mentioned many different things that would come to pass in these times that would usher in the end of the world, which is the end of an age, which is the end of the age of the heathen worship, which Esau being the final ruler, and the beginning of the kingdom of heaven to come. So there were many signs, tokens, whatever you want to call it, that were to be revealed in these times to show that the end was coming in. One of them would be the internet, the invention of the internet, the invention of these different technologies. Another one would be the cursing out of the king of Babylon, telling him that he's going down, that the golden city has ceased, you know, pretty much mocking these devils. That's also a part of the prophesying and end time signs of this devil going down and us on the come up. There was one more thing that came to mind, but it kind of escaped my mind for the moment. If it comes back, I'll bring it out. But if not, you know, pretty much hit some good points through the Spirit. So the next one is 2nd Ezra 12 and 9. It says, "For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times." 1 Peter 1 and 5, "Who are kept by the power of the Most High through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time." And we're in the last time now. Now this is the main one I wanted, 1 John 2:18. "Little children, it is the last time. And as you have heard, the anti-Messiah shall come. Even now are there many anti-Messiahs, whereby we know that it is the last time." And this is why you have individuals that call themselves Israelites, that know that they're Israelites, that are leaders among some of these groups, that go out there and teach, that are anti-Messiah. And this is why you see those denying the divinity of Yahushua. You have those that are denying him worship. You have those that are denying his miracles. You have those that are looking at Yahushua like he's just a regular man, which he came in the flesh as a regular man, but he's not a regular man. He is the Son of the Most High. He's a very special spirit. But they're making it seem like he's just a regular individual, and many other, and many other things that they do. So this is how we know that we're in the last times, because of that and because of many other things that we see going on in the world, the uproars of the people and the earthquakes and the famines and the disruption and the people being antsy, so to speak, and all of this is leading to the end. Now we got Jude 1:18. It says, "How that they told you there should be mockers in the last time, who should walk after their own ungodly lusts." And we see that happening all the time. So we're in the last times. So when we go to the book of Revelation 2 and 10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried." And this is a part of that temptation. This is why Yahushua, when he taught his disciples how to pray, he said, "Pray that the Father lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." Because evil are bad times, the times that are coming. And in the times that are coming, if the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not with a particular individual, they're not going to have the spirit to resist what's coming. They're going to take the MOTB. They're going to take Crown Vicky. They're going to take and accept whatever is given to them of this government and of the international banking families, in order for them to live a comfortable life with their family, so on and so forth. And they're backing people in the corner. They're paying people $100 to take Crown Vicky, for a spin, and the brother Yeshaya from Des Moines camp, he was speaking earlier on prophecies, and he had mentioned this video with this individual that was cursing people out and getting at, he's an actor, he was getting at them because they didn't take the max, and he was going in on people. "You dumb mother," he was bringing that rah-rah. But then turn around and they showed him a different day. Then he was saying, "You mother effers, you pieces of shit, you made me take that, the max, and now you calling me a super spreader? Fuck," he was like pissed off. And this dude his name is Michael Rappaport. All right. So pretty much that's Dunwitty from Bamboozle. So pretty much, all of this stuff is boiling up. The pot is boiling. You know how when the pot boils and the water starts spilling over, hitting the flames, and you start hearing that shh, shh. Well, that's what's happening right now. Things are they're pretty much at a boil, but it hasn't really got to the point where people are exploding. But they're at that point. They're exhausted from all this BS, from all these restrictions, from wearing them face diapers on their face. Some of them are so bugged out that they're it's just an instinct. They put that soiled diaper on their face, a face diaper, to go into any store or whatever the case is. Some of them are so stupid that you're parked at the park and they'll get out their car, grab their mask, and put the mask on before they go to use the bathroom. I was just shaking my head like, wow. But anyway, let's read this again. "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried." Let's look up this word, tried. So this is going to be the last temptation before the Lord, the Messiah, Yahushua, appears in the clouds to deliver his elect. Yes, the clouds, the so-called UFOs, the chariots. The Greek word is peirazo. Peirazo. It says to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endeavor, to try, make trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality. And pretty much this is what's going to go down. But the thing about it is the Lord is doing this to try the faith of the elect, but the elect are going to come through because they are the elect. So although it's a trial, it's fixed. It's already fixed. Matter of fact, let's look up the word fixed, see what it says for the word fixed. Fixed definition. It says fastened securely in position, especially of a price, rate, or time, predetermined and not subject to or able to be changed. Predetermined and not subject to or able to be changed. And that's exactly what it is. Let's go real quick to the book of Ephesians, the first chapter. Ephesians 1 and 3. Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Yahushua. And that's why the Apostle Paul also said in Philippians that our conversation or our citizenship is in heaven. That's why it says, seek ye the things which are above. It says, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. Let's look up that word predestinated. The word predestinated is proorizo, to predetermine, decide beforehand. In the New Testament of the Most High decreeing from eternity, to foreordain, appoint beforehand. So this is something that was done before, and it was all done before the world even began. So the word fixed is predetermined and not subject or able to be changed. So the elect are not going to be, they're not going to be disturbed, they're not going to be perturbed, even though they're going to go through these things. They're going to be subjected to the temptations, they're going to have the feelings and the anxieties and the fears and all of that, but their heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord, and they will not bow the knee to the image of Baal. They will not bow to this devil. Wow, there was a precept that just came to mind. I wish I would have grabbed it. Can't think of what it is right now, but that's all right. So let's move on. Let's go back. So that's the word predetermined. Let's read that again. I'm sorry, that wasn't it. That was something else. That was Ephesians. So let's read that again. Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. Yeah, because they're fixed, trusting in the Lord. All right, so going back to Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on the planet, which is Esau, his different police forces, his different FEMA troops and different troops that they have that they're going to use to bring forth this agenda. And remember, the scriptures say they shall be like madmen, sparing none, because they're going to have a spirit on them. And the spirit that they're going to have is this demonic spirit that's going to be sent to them from the Lord, because the fury of the Lord is going to be upon them to do what they're doing. It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. What is a prison? These different concentration camps. And there's no coincidence that you have detention centers / concentration camps, which the word concentration is having a whole bunch of something into one small space, combined into one small space. Like you might have detergent, and that detergent is concentrated, meaning you just need a little bit, you add water to it and it'll stretch it because it's concentrated. So it's a large amount of people concentrated in one particular place. That's why they have these different buildings, whether they're actual prisons, they're detention centers, they're large supermarket buildings, large box store buildings where they can store masses of people. And as you can see what's going on right now, they're setting things up to where there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to accept, Crown Vicky, and that venom that they're trying to push in people's veins. And this is where this is where there's going to be problems, because the mandates are out. It's getting to the point where it's no longer voluntary. Now it's mandatory. If you want to go to your favorite theater, if you want to go see a play, if you want to go to this favorite restaurant of yours, if you want to go to see the game, if you want to go see this boxing match or this MMA match and things of that nature, there's going to be a mandate for, the Crown Vicky, the different, you could say, licenses to prove that you done got the serpent's serum in your system. SSSS. The serpent's serum in your system. All right? And that's exactly what they're doing. So that's what these prisons are for. Because it's these so-called concentration camps / detention centers / prisons, are going to be housing people that resist. It says that you may be tried, and that's the key, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. So there's going to be a certain amount of time where this tribulation is going to be brought, because remember, there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. But remember, this is the last temptation. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because at the end of the day, that crown that we read about in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, I believe it is, that Yahushua was putting on the men that stood so stiffly for his name, that's the ultimate goal, that crown, which that crown is to be able to enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, now what we do is we go to the 3rd chapter and the 10th verse. Okay, you know what? I kind of messed up. So let's go to the 3rd chapter and the 10th verse. And it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. See, this word can be hard at times. And this is why the scriptures speak about the temptations. It speaks about, being brought to a lower state, being patient, and your patience possesses your souls. Because the word patient simply means to suffer. When you're patient or you're patiently waiting for something, you're suffering inwardly, because you want to get the job done, get it done. Better is the ending of a thing than the beginning. But you have to wait. And in waiting, it means that you're suffering for it. And that's what the scriptures say, that the Lord is long suffering. Bear with me 1 second. All right, so pretty much, that's because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So it's a sufferance to have to endure all of these things, knowing that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, knowing that this place is going to end, having that hope that the Lord is going to destroy this place soon. But it's the anticipation of waiting for it. Matter of fact, let's look up that word, the definition for anticipation. Anticipation. The action of anticipating. I hate when they do that. Anticipate. I hate when they use the same word to define a word. That shit pisses me off. Anticipate. Regard as probable, expect or predict, act as a forerunner or precursor of. That ain't really saying much. Let's see what else they got. Anticipate. Do they have the free dictionary? Let's see what this says. Anticipate. Fuck off. It says to give advanced thought, discussion, or treatment to meet an obligation before the due date, to foresee and deal with in advance, to use or expend advance or actual possession, to act before another often so that to check or kinda, to look forward to as certain. This is good. You know, what the hell, man? All right, let's try to see if we can find something else. Cambridge. A feeling of excitement about something that is going to happen in the near future. Good. This is good. This is good. You know, like a junk man coming in for a quickie. You know, and when you young, you know, and you get with that woman that you've been wanting to get with, and you have that anticipation of y'all getting together and doing the do. That's anticipation. You know, it's like a rush, you know, and you can't wait for it to go down. So that's the anticipation of waiting, you know. So that's that patience, because we know it's coming, but it's just the anticipation of waiting for it that gets hard sometimes. So it says, I also, so since we kept the word of the Lord's patience, right? Lord's will we be the elect. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, because the Most High is going to make a way for the elect not to get involved in whatever it is that these devils are doing. Let's go to Matthew 24. I believe that's 24. It says, for there shall be false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But it's not possible, because the Lord has the elect's mind focused, fixed, trusting in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is going to be a worldwide event. It's going to be upon all the world to try them. And that's why it's so important. It's so important to identify what the MOTB is. How can you warn somebody not to take something if you don't identify what it is? And it's not Christianity. It's not an embargo, because an embargo does not apply to everybody. That only applies to these countries that are trying to sell their wares in America. The scriptures say that he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their hand or in their forehead. And it's not Christianity, because the majority of people on the planet have taken on Christianity in one form or another, whether it's Jehovah's Witness, whether it's Pentecostal, whether it's Islam, whether it's Roman Catholic Church. All of that goes back to Christianity. So it's not Christianity, because pretty much I'm could say the majority of brothers and sisters that know about the truth were all Christians at one time. And the scripture said that once you take that, you're going to be destroyed. Once you take the MOTB, you're going to be destroyed. So how could it be those things? So if the Lord is warning that if you take the MOTB, you're going to be destroyed, there has to be an identification of what this thing that the Lord is displeased with, you know, not to take it. And it makes all the sense of the world dealing with the Greek words, the Hebrew words, and everything that's linked up to this microchip, that's the MOTB. Because what that does, it gives another master authority over the individual that gets pricked with that device. You see? That's why the Most High is upset for somebody that takes it. Because you're allowing another God to be your master for life. And that's why we have scriptures like the all that's written in the scriptures. You know, the all being bored through the man's ear by the master. And then that slave becomes a slave for life to that master. To either that master dies or the slave dies. And that's what we're coming into. So that's the last temptation. Now let's go to Psalms 31. And when I was reading this earlier, it says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David, in thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Yeah, because you have these devils that are coming down hard with their deceit, their snares, their traps, you know, their machinations that they're trying to push upon the Israelites. It says, bow down thine ear to me, deliver me speedily, be thou my strong rock for an house of defense to save me. Because the reason why people are going to Esau is to what? For deliverance, for an hedge that the Lord already gave us. It says, for thou art my rock and my fortress, therefore for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. And this is why we pray to the Lord to continuously feed us and continuously keep us, focused in this truth. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privately for me, for thou art my strength. Yeah, because what is that net? The net is the MOTB, the a permanent slave to the slave masters of the international banking families. The MOTB, all of these things, the Crown Vicky, all of this stuff that's leading people in that direction. It says, into thine hand I commit my spirit. Thou hast redeemed me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, power of truth. I have hated them that regard lying vanities, but I trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy, for thou hast considered my trouble. Thou hast known my soul in adversities. And this is what's coming, adversities. We've been in adversities, but the adversities are going to get rough because this is going to be the last temptation. It says, and has not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room, and because the Lord is going to deliver us. That's why it says, when the enemy shall come in like the flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. How exactly the Lord is going to do it, we don't know. We could speculate. We could quote certain movies, to give like a picture of what could happen. We could go to scriptures and show you certain things that happened to men of the Lord that were delivered in their moment of temptation as examples, but we don't know exactly what it's going to be. But we know it's going to go down. However the Lord is going to set it up, it's going to go down. Something the Lord is going to do when this devil makes their move, which is really the Lord on the left-hand side, that the Lord is going to do something to them to back them up. Just like he backed the Egyptians up off of Israel when they were coming for them on the way out of Egypt, where he caused the gigantic ship to come between the camp of Israel and the camp of the Egyptians. Left the lights in the front for us, for our forefathers, and turned off the lights in the back for them Egyptians. So it would make it harder for them to find their way, because they were on horseback, they were on chariots and all of that. And our forefathers were on foot. That was a great divine intervention that happened. Then the splitting of the Red Sea. And they didn't go on murky water or on a mire or on sand or dirt that was muddy. It was completely dry. So as if a laser went through, dried up the waters on both sides, and dried up the land on the ground. How you gonna deal with a power like that? Shit. It says, have mercy upon me, O Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, for I am in trouble. And this is why the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. But the Lord said he shall be delivered out of it, because the elect are going to make it through. Mine eye is consumed with grief, yea, my soul and my belly. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. For my strength faileth because of mine iniquity, and my bones are consumed. Now there was a verse. This is 11. I was a reproach among all mine enemies, but especially among my neighbors, because we've been a reproach among other Israelites, especially the ones that know that they're Israelites. They look down upon us. They trouble us because of the message that the Lord has us teaching. And this goes along with Psalms 73rd chapter and the 11th verse. It says, and they say, how doth the Most High know, and is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly, which is Esau, And you could throw Jake in there, but it's really dealing with Esau, who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. And the Spirit of the Lord has made it to where he made us identify who the wicked is or are. He made us identify certain things and bring out certain secrets and things that they do. It says, verily I had cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. Yeah, because it seems like the wicked are prospering. And here it is, we that's trying to do right, trying to walk the right path, we constantly getting kicked in the ass. He was like, damn, is the Most High with the wicked and against us? But that's not the case. It says, for all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. And it feels like that. You know, you just when you think you're getting ahead, there's always something there to make you fall back. You know, whether it's depression or whether it's whatever the case may be. It says, if I say I will speak thus, I will speak about these things. I will go out there and expose the wicked and tell Jake who the devil is. Behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children, because they take offense against that. Or if the white man can't make it, then we don't want to make it then. You know? So when you speak against these devils, no, you got good Edomite, you know, good so white, you know, I mean, and they take offense to it. It says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Yeah, because like, God damn, man. You know, here it is. The Lord showed us the truth. We're speaking the truth. And you figured that the people would be happy. Jake would be happy that this is being identified, that they're being identified as the people of the Lord, that they're being identified as the top nation on the planet, that there's going to be judgment coming, that they're going to be revenge and all that. But they talk shit. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. And this is what we know. We understand their end, which they don't understand. So that's why when they make that move, that's going to be the last temptation. And that's when the Lord is going to come in and redeem his elect. It says, surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou castest them down into destruction. Yeah, because it's like they know, but they don't. You know, it's like they like, yeah, but nah, we're going to keep going, man. We're God. You know, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors? Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. Because just as they're about to implement their new world order, when they're about to eat, the Most High is going to destroy them. He's going to throw a monkey wrench in their plans. And the high-ups, the elites, the super rich of the world, they're going to be the first ones that take slavery, beginning with the Edomites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Hamites, the Ishmaelites, the Elamites, all of them that's in bed together. It says, as a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. Because this new world order that they're trying to set up, the Lord is going to despise that. Because they're trying to impress upon the world that they're the Most High. Trying to cheapen the Most High's position. All right, so now let's go back. Let's go back to Psalms 31 and 12. I'm sorry, read 11 again. I was a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and a fear to mine acquaintance. They that did see me without fled from me. Yeah, and they avoid us like the plague. You know, especially the great mills. JMS, they're the worst camp out there. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. Don't nobody pick up a broken vessel to use it for nothing. So that's how we are to the world. It says, for I have heard the slander of many, and they slander us. Call us rapists. They call us all kind of crazy shit. And all we do is basically tell what the scriptures say. And they lie on us. They slander us. You know, they demonize us. It says, fear was on every side while they took counsel together against me. They devised to take away my life. Yeah, the Lord could take away your life. He could take it. And that's exactly what these devils are trying to do. They're trying to take away the life of the elect. That's why it says there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Because at the end of the day, what Esau's trying to do is he's trying to get his birthright back. And he figures that by annihilating the Israelites that they're going to be able to get that birthright back, get that blessing back, but it's not going to work. But I trusted in thee, O Lord. I said, thou art my power. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies. Yeah, and that's what they're coming. They're coming with that flood, like they did in 70 AD, but a lot worse. And from them that persecute me, make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. All right. Now it says, make thy face to shine upon thee, which, you know, you can go to the book of Numbers. I was going to go to it, but you could go to the book of Numbers, chapter 6, where the Lord commissioned Aaron to set up those prayers over Israel, for the Lord to shine his face upon us as we do the anointing prayer. It says, let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. And that's what they're doing. Just bear with me 1 second. It says, oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou hast kept them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of the tongues. Yeah, and eventually the Lord's going to bring us into them chariots. When you got individuals out there making mockery of the chariots. Blessed be the Lord, for he hath showed me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. For I said in mine haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplication when I cried unto thee. Yeah, because remember when Yahushua was going through his hour of temptation, he felt the presence of the Lord leaving. See? So, it stands to reason that if Yahushua went through that, we're going to feel similar things. But the Lord is not going to leave us. O love the Lord, all ye his saints, the Israelites, for the Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. And the last scripture that I had was Psalms 35. I'll read a couple of verses. Psalms 35:1, a psalm of David. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Because that's why it says that there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the devil and his angels in so many words. The dragon and his angels. It says, let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. It says, for without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit. And that's this so-called New World Order and everything that comes along with it. Which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself, and to that very destruction let him fall. Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, they're going to fall into the pit which they dig. You know, because that's going to be their own undoing. When they make that final hurrah, that final push to implement the New World Order by pushing the MOTB, that's going to be the end of them. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. Yeah, and this is dealing with Esau. Who shall lead me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? The Lord will. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. This goes with Yahushua, the things that he dealt with. You know, and it's also going to be put upon us. Because Yahushua said, the servant is not greater than his master. They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned to my own bosom. Yeah, because You know, when we're out there teaching, Jake, we're teaching them in the hopes that they wake up, pleading the cause. You know, going out there, presenting our bodies a living sacrifice, so that they can get the message. But yet, what do? They pretty much they spit in our face, which they're really spitting in the Lord's face, so to speak. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one that mourneth for his mother. Yeah, because when we go out there to teach, we know what's coming for Jake. Remember, Yahushua grieved. He said, look, don't cry for me. Cry for yourself and for your children. Because if you know what belongs to your peace, but now it is hid from your eyes. And it's the same thing going on right now. Jake has no clue of what's really going on. And their peace is really hidden from their eyes. And they don't realize that they're about to go through a worse scenario than 70 AD. It's going to be 70 AD all over again, but worse. And it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. It says, but in my adversity they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not. Yeah, and that's why even that devil Banyamyan, when Polite and them was getting the Bloods and the Crips after us, he was rejoicing about that. That's why I don't have no respect for that guy. You know? He was rejoicing. He really wanted to come and get us. Evil ass nigga. With hypocritical mockers and feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destruction, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. And that's exactly what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, the peace that these devils are trying to bring is the destruction of Jake and their peace. You know, for them to have this new world order, Jake, we would be in total servitude, total slavery. And the ones that don't comply gotta die. So there has to be an intervention that comes into play from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to stop these devils in their tracks. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eye hath seen it. Thou hast seen, O Lord, keep not silence. O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to judgment, even unto my cause, my power, and my Lord. Judge me, O Lord, my power, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, ah, so would we have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take us away from the Lord and put us under them. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. So this has been the last temptation. This is what we're coming to soon. Lord's will, we'll make it through. The elect, I know the elect definitely gonna make it through. Lord's will, we be the elect, and we'll be all right, because the Lord is gonna be there to protect us. So with that, I pray that you brothers have been edified. Till the next time, I say shalom. Matter of fact, let me read this real quick, Salakia. Psalms 140:8. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Salah. Shalom.